Bueno, llegamos a la segunda parte, ya solucionaron el problema que se había caído la transmisión. Vemos que van 5 muertos a 2 favor de SK. Y siguen con sus 6 torres cada equipo. Dignitas como por 500 de oro o por encima de SK. No es mucho y son, digamos, 2 minutos y medio de partida. SK intentando hacer la Gold Fury, y sí, la van a poder hacer porque no llegó nadie a poderla defender. Gold Fury para SK.
Love that play from SK. This looks like a really solid team right now. I mean, they're doing just about everything right. I mean, the biggest mistake that SK has made, and it isn't even a mistake, I'm saying that kind of tongue-in-cheek, is that Half Devil is the one with all the kills. If that fails with with three kills instead of, and it's Half Devil with a couple more assists, then that level lead isn't even there for Cubo Fred. The extra golden XP that Fails is getting from the kills would be making up for the lack of farm that he's getting on the map. So I feel like SK is doing nearly everything right now, and that's impressive to me against a team like Dignitas, who won't necessarily give up the early game, but won't wrestle you for it either. They won't just give it up for free, but Dig isn't the team to be like, we have to win early game. This is a tenured team that has the comfort level in the late game to say, yeah, you can get a 4,000 gold lead. We'll worry about it, or we got to worry about it. But SK hasn't just it hasn't fallen in their lap. They've earned this lead thus far. It's very slight. But again, if you're the one posing the questions, eventually the other team will get an answer wrong, or you'll run out of questions and they'll get to win the game after that. But the way SK is going right now with this pace, they look great.
And that's why those player interviews are so important, right? Because SK aren't just getting smacked around and not adapting or thinking about it. They identify where the problems are, as now they grab the Pyromancer. Variety's here, not gonna let that go down for free, but perfect control from Fails. Pyro is there, but now can they make the retreat? Trixie is here. First base time has been committed, but it's a 4v2. They're giving Dignitas a little bit more credit than perhaps they'd earned. Either way, though, they make it out, they grab the Pyromancer, and another win for SK.
Trix going really deep here by himself. If SK knew about this, they probably just commit onto the support without his ultimate, but not a lot of ward coverage will give them the information that they need to know that they can play aggressive in that spot.
But to the point I was making, SK, you're talking about how, SK have kind of been falling a little bit behind Dignitas and they've been struggling, and what they've been learning from those struggles is where their weaknesses are. In early game, this exact situation is kind of one of those areas they talked about. How do they transition to the mid to late game where they have been rather strong? Well, now they're going to be transitioning in a little bit stronger.
Será el Smite de Rama y le alcanzó a pegar los tres, le bajó casi la mitad. Aquí Aquiles intentando tumbar la torre.
They really have. The problem is, though, for Dignitas is that this is where you need to answer Achilles. If you don't, okay, you've got a Guan Yu in the late game, and Guan is just going to do way more for you in the later stages than an Achilles will. So I think SK, as long as they aren't losing every buff on that side of the map, letting Variety get an early tower, that's not a big deal. Letting Variety get a slight lead over Ducky, that's fine. Ducky will be able to do more with less in the later stages. Variety needs to be there to find the early executes, to get buff invades, to put pressure on the Mercury. And he hasn't been able to do that because of the way how well Ducky's played this lane, with Fails bringing pressure over here. Fails has been in nearly every blue buff to make sure that is getting secured for Ducky, and that's been huge for SK. You expect Achilles to have a lead at this point. I don't think that's a big concern right now for SK Gaming.
No, this is when Achilles is at his strongest, so if they can mitigate that impact, they should be all right transitioning in. I mean, remember, they've got Discordia, they've got a lot of good things working, and Cubo Fred has the fear, no, you don't have to have a whole lot of trouble back in. First base in time to the back.
Ya no mata al Cerbero 5-por-3. La puntuación en martes favorece K.
After Variety blinks over the wall.
Lob has no beads. Forced out by
Están todos en el medio, quieren ir por esa torre, pero ya,
to try and get something in the mid lane, but a huge strike there, caught two.
Now comes out the golden apple, Zeros avoids it, so it's
crítico que soltó ese Mercurio, acá muere el Homebug por parte del Hachiman.
Now Ducky grouping up with Lobster in the mid lane. Gotta try and win the 2v3. There's nothing more for them, so they're gonna fall back. But look at Arkle. He's been pushing dual lane. Got the tier 1 and pushed the minions into the tier 2, and even forced the teleport from Ducky.
Yeah, that's a nice defense though from SK Gaming. Lobster makes a great play, finding the Strife at the kind of weird angle to the left. You know, two people grouped up in a weird spot that don't feel like they're particularly grouped. Doesn't hurt that a big crit comes out from Fails has made you look there off just the rage being completed, and SK take advantage, get a tier 1 tower on the right-hand side, so ultimately they trade out a couple kills in the mid for a tier 1 on right. So if they're tier 1 on left, overall about even, and that's where SK wants to be now that they're starting to group up. If they could just stay even or a little bit ahead or a little bit behind, I think that their draft favor is favored over Dignitas exclusively because of that Guan Yu.
Boy, that heavenly banner into Mercury Hachiman damage, that's no joke. We saw it on the Gold Fury a little bit earlier.
Acaba de caer la segunda torre de SK, la torre 1 de la línea de la derecha de SK. Y otra Gold Fury para SK. Así de fácil. Otra Gold Fury.
I think I want to see Arkle use his ultimate directly in front of SK and just say, out-secure me in this spot, because that's a good test of SK. How much confidence do they have? Where are they going to stick on that? If they do, then that's fine, and you give it up for free anyways, and you lose your ultimate. Who cares? You're not going to be using your ultimate anytime soon if you're Arkle. Or best case scenario, you force SK to reset and into a fight.
Vamos, llega alguien para apoyarlo. Salta el ulti de Cerberus para quitarnos de encima, pero lo tienen ahí, muere Cerberus por mano de Hammer. Raman ulti pegándole a Hachiman se lo baila. Se lo bailó completamente. Rama hacia el frente, le llega a Mercurio con Blink y chao Rama, inmune a Rama, pero de todos modos Mercurio lo mata.
That's credit to Funball for baiting in Arkle with the roll. But Dignitas punished
y la tercera
SK on the right side. And that's what I was saying. I'm surprised Dignitas didn't try and force SK to reset Gold Fury, because Lobster's beads were still down. I believe Fails' may have been as well. I think they were. That was a good opportunity to fight with the Hun Bats. Instead of taking the fight by Gold Fury, SK kind of missteps and it goes with a shouldn't on that right-hand side, and they get caught for it. And that's where I don't know if that play in that situation works against Rival or works against Energy, one of the other top teams in Europe, but it does work against SK in this instance, and Dignitas get a pretty decent punish out of it. If Arkle doesn't fall on the left, there's a decent chance Dig get a tier 2 tower in mid if Arkle just groups up and comes towards them. Instead, it ultimately ends up being more or less a wash between the two.
Dignitas, this is one of the many things that Dignitas are good. I was going to say this is one of those things, but Dignitas are good at a lot of stuff. That's why they're always up there at the top. But punishing you off the back of a win, really, for you, recognizing what you've expended and what your weaknesses are, and they come force fight.
Solo sabot para defender al Pyromancer, no, corra,
very close, but it does go the way of SK Gaming. That is the lurking in the waters committed. But again, you think you've got a victory? Well, we think we've got a fight. Hugo Fred here with the tail end of the fear, now able to punish Lobster, force out the Aegis, and chase him down. Execute not quite land, but Arkle has the shot. Funballer takes down Ryan, and they get one for one jungler for solo.
Oh, but Lobster got his job, got his damage off. Ducky punishes Trick's Egg for going in for the pluck. Half Devil still got Shell. Cubo gonna teleport forward, looking for the damage on the Ducky, but he's still up. Somersault in, and beads forced by Cubo. Funball is still going in. Here comes Fails.
Dios mío, esto es 4x3.
Fails still plenty healthy and sending zeros running with his tail between his legs. But this is the exact play I was talking about for Dignitas. SK respond this time, but when SK commit onto the Pyromancers, some members are low. Dignitas aren't thinking they're lost. They're thinking that they've got a chance to come force a fight.
And they do that, but SK just is playing really well as a unit. Yeah. Like I said, someone stepped in, I don't know who that was, maybe it was Half Devil who stepped in front of Lobster.
Okay, Dignitas hizo 12,000 de daño contra 9,000 de...
And that does enough damage to
de SK, pero fueron los más afectados al recibir 4 muertes.
Arkle just gets crushed by Funball, who had a really solid team fight. And Fails, I mean, that's the dream scenario as Mercury, to just get to tear through a team fight near the later stages and just clean up 2 low health targets.
Los deja con 4 torres.
That's everything you want to
pick. SK tiene 3 torres.
How big has Half Devil been for this squad, this game, on this Cerberus pick, as that red buff gets stolen away? He's doing a great job ahead of even really Cubo Fred in terms of damage right now, 7,000. But I mean, he's been grouping up, finding the shots, finding the stuns. It really does seem like he's gelling well with this SK squad.
It really does. He's played very, very well so far. The well-timed shell, he's been working well as a unit, and I think that SK were lacking that teamwork a lot of the time. I think that Funball and Lobster and everyone.
Jamás otra vez en ulti. Mariscordia por Rama que estaba en ulti también. Cerberos contra todos, hace el ulti, lo saca del lado de él. Pero Cerberos va a morir, triple kill no, amenaza matanza del Rama, el llano, y Rama mata al Cerberos, son 3 contra 0. Quedan 2 defendiendo la torre, van a variar, van a retroceder o van por el gigante de fuego. Tienen 30 segundos antes de que salga el otro, puede ser. Esperemos que no se vuelva a caer la transmisión, por favor. Creo que voy a dejar de sacar la transmisión y pues, si se logra acceder a para mejorar la tercera parte de la primera partida.